The Lakers lose game 1 to the Wolves. What they need to do in game 2 to even the series, and why Lakers fans should not be panicking after a game 1 loss. Also, we're going around the NBA. The Clippers lose game 1 of the Nuggets. Russell Westbrook has some ups and downs in that one, but they get the win. Also, Celtics. Talk about Jason Tatum. We're going to talk about the rest of the association. It was the first weekend of the NBA playoffs. All that more coming up next on The Big Lead. What is up, and welcome to The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you're new to The Big Lead, it's the hottest stories in sports in less than an hour. We also do a lot of Lakers. It's an LA-based show, and we'll be talking a lot about the purple and gold. And we are doing a giveaway. Once we hit 2,000 subscribers, we will be giving away a Luka Doncic Lakers number 77 jersey. All you have to do to be eligible to win is subscribe to the channel and comment Luka Magic down below or on any of our videos. So be sure to do just that. And also you can subscribe to the podcast as well if you listen to it in audio form. But we've got so much to get into, so let's get right into it. And we are starting with game 1.
I told you, I think I'll be playing with it
of the Lakers and the Timberwolves. The Lakers lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Game 1 of the first round of 7-game series. And this was a game where it looked like the Lakers were going to control it early. A solid start for the Lakers. He had a 28-21 lead early in the first quarter. Luka Doncic was coming out scoring. He got out to a fast start. He scored 16 points, 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. It looked like Luka Doncic was going to do what he did to this Timberwolves team last year, and the Lakers were going to cruise, but that was not what happened after that. After that stretch, the Wolves outscored the Lakers in a 96-67, 96-67 for the rest of the way. There was a stretch in the middle of the game where the Wolves outscored the Lakers 67-33. The Wolves took game 1, 117-95. And the big takeaways from this one is, first and foremost, did the Lakers think this was a regular season game in January? Did the Lakers think this was a regular season game in March? The Wolves came out hearing about this Lakers team, a more athletic Timberwolves team, and they shot the lights out. They absolutely shot the lights out. They were hungry. I hate the cliche that team wanted more. But the Lakers, outside of Luka Doncic, no one had a good game. They look listless. They look lifeless. And the Lakers put themselves in a hole there in the second quarter, and they were just never able to recover. They did make some adjustments in the second half. They started to bounce back a little bit against their physicality. And look, are we going to see what we saw in game 2 or for the rest of the series from this Minnesota team? I think that if I had to bet, I would say no. I mean, are you going to see a Minnesota team get offense like that from Naz Reid? Get offense like that from a Minnesota team that, yeah, you got Anthony Edwards. He's certainly a absolute star. And it wasn't the 22 points from Edwards. It was the fact that he was finding his other guys. And that was the strategy for Lakers. Let's try to stop Anthony Edwards, and let's try to dare their other players to shoot and see if they can get it done. And they did. Jaden McDaniels, 11 of 13, 25 points. 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. That's not happening again. I don't care. That's not going to happen again. I mean, Naz Reid, 8 for 12, 23 points, 6 from 9 from beyond the arc. DiVincenzo, 4 for 9. I mean, you're just not going to see that level of efficiency from those type of players. I mean, Naz Reid and McDaniels going 16 for 22 on the night, combining for 48 points, 9 for 12 from beyond the arc, 19 for 25 from the field. Is that going to happen again? If that does, you say, hey, congratulations. You tip your cap and you say good luck for the rest of the way in the playoffs. But that certainly most likely is not going to happen again. But I do think it's interesting that this Lakers team with Jackson Hayes, it's not a viable strategy. I think the first thing you want to see from the Lakers in adjustments for game 2 is you look at the lineup with Jackson Hayes. With Jackson Hayes on the court, he goes 0 for 2, 3 rebounds, a -11 plus minus. He was awful. He's unplayable. The Lakers do not have a playable big. And McDaniels, who scored 25, he said after the game, I just noticed at certain times when Jackson Hayes wasn't on the court, I'm basically the tallest person out there, so I don't think no one could really rim protect me. So the Lakers, the big adjustment they're going to have to make in the second game is what do they do with their lineups to start games? Because if Jackson Hayes is unplayable, do you go ultra small? Do you go wings, shooters, and try to shoot the lights out? That's certainly a strategy that they could go with. And you could have LeBron James as your biggest player out there, right? Amongst your biggest players out there, and you just try to shoot the lights out. I mean, is that the strategy they're going to have to employ? Because, I mean, look, when we previewed the series, the thing we said was you cannot just keep going back to the well with Jackson Hayes if he's unplayable. And what that did was it allowed them to get to the rim, but also there were so many open threes all night long. That's the second big thing they need to do. The Lakers need to do a better job and be a little more physical and getting out there and stopping the three. Minnesota went 21 of 42 from beyond the arc in game 1. Of those 42 threes, 27 were wide open. 15 were open. They had all day to shoot. They had 0 3-point attempts on the night. They were classified as coming against tight or very tight defense. The defense was atrocious for the Lakers. The effort was not there. This team did not show up ready to play for a playoff game. And the Minnesota Timberwolves, they came out with a chip on their shoulder and absolutely belt to you-know-what, smoked the purple and gold. And yes, LeBron James is very well known for feeler out games, right? I'm going to fill you out in game 1. If I lose game 1, then it's not the end of the world. But if you look at the history of his career, when LeBron James has won game 1, his teams have gone 29-2. He won 20 straight. So had you just won last night, a couple nights ago, had you just won game 1 of that series, you would be feeling very, very confident about a series win for the Lakers. But instead, I think they're in for a dogfight against the Wolves. When LeBron loses game 1, he's 12-11 and he's lost 3 straight. And yes, if you look deeper into that stat, it is a little skewed. Those 10 losses, 5 of them were from 2006 to 2011, and since 2012 he's 9-4. But still, the truth is, when he wins early, they most likely win that series. When he does not, it's a dogfight. It's a 50-50. And that is the situation that they are in. But here was JJ Redick after the game talking about the Lakers matching up to this Wolves team, giving this Wolves team credit, and talking about what they need to do moving forward.
They were able to get the start of their run was transition and a second chance. And if you look sort of at, the effort offense areas for them, they ended up with 25 fast break points, which that's always skewed by the counter. So it's more than that, and 23 second chance points. So, the schematics wise in the half court, we'll take a look at everything and see what we want to tweak and all that. That's hard to overcome, particularly when a team is shooting like they were shooting tonight. Yeah, I'd have to go look back at everyone, but I know a number of those were in transition and off offensive rebounds.
Yeah. And he talked about Austin Reeves. He talked about LeBron James. He mentioned those switches. Where the hell was Austin Reeves? Where was Hillbilly Mama? Where was LeBron James in the first half? Because that was the worst first half of basketball I've ever seen from Austin Reeves in his career. The guy just didn't show up. LeBron didn't score his first points until the second quarter. You can't have a top-heavy roster and have only one of those guys show up in Luka Doncic, and then Luka Doncic only has 1 assist. Austin Reeves in the first half goes 1 for 6, scored 2 points, had 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 turnover. Just was getting absolutely just abused on the defensive end. And I think that's the other big takeaway for me is those switches in those situations. You cannot put them at a disadvantage when you're the Lakers. And you look at the switches, look, they bothered Austin Reeves and they bothered LeBron James all game long. And that definitely was an area where you saw some improvement in the second half. But LeBron finished with 19 points. Austin Reeves, 16 points. And most of those points, they were fake points that came after the lead had gotten big for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, Reeves goes 5 for 13 from the field, had just 3 free throws, so wasn't getting to the rim. LeBron goes 8 for 18 overall, just 1 for 5 from beyond the arc. And what the Timberwolves did to the Lakers is they used the Lakers' medicine against them. They were switching. They were baiting them into just one-on-one basketball, and it wasn't working because they were being more physical with them. And LeBron and Reeves, they were trying to target those mismatches against the Wolves' bigs. But what'd that do? That made it where they just weren't getting to the rim. I mean, you saw contested step-back jumpers, and Minnesota was happy with that. So the Lakers, they have to find a way to get Austin Reeves and LeBron James in spots where they're getting downhill. You got multiple screens and different actions that can free them up. I mean, yes, they can score in ISO situations, but when they do that, it takes away from what this offense is capable of. You're not seeing as many points on assists. It was the least amount of points on assists they've had in years for this one. I mean, you had 15. I mean, it wasn't a viable strategy. It's not sustainable. So to win game 2, the Lakers, you need to get easier looks, better looks, cleaner looks. Because let's be honest, at this stage of their careers, LeBron James and Austin Reeves, they're not the kind of scorer that Luka Doncic is, where you can just give them the ball and you can expect results every single possession. That's just not who they are. And then LeBron did talk about it after the game, the fact that the Lakers need to control the controllables. That was the buzzword, the buzz phrase that LeBron was using after the game. Here was LBJ after the Lakers loss.
Well, obviously, we got to do a better job of controlling the controllables, and I don't think we did a good enough job after the first quarter. Once they blitzed us in that second quarter, 38-20. But giving up 21 threes, giving up 20-plus fast break points, second chance points, those are some of the things that we can control. Obviously the three-point shooting, we know they have a lot of lasers. They have a lot of guys that can shoot from the perimeter. So we got to do a better job of closing the bodies and getting out on shooters. So, we'll get back in the film room tomorrow, look at the things that we did well, some of the things that we didn't do so well, and continue the game plan for game 2. We have a couple of days to prepare for it.
So you like to hear that, and you like to hear that this team can have another gear they can get to. But yeah, I mean, a very disappointed first game in the playoffs for the Lakers after all the momentum they had been building. But yeah, it's going to come down to, can they match up with the team? Can they adjust? Here's LeBron on the game 2 adjustments. So that's another big adjustment that the Lakers need to make, is the transition defense, the inability to get anything on their end in transition. That really decided the game. LeBron talked about it right there. The Lakers give up 25 points in transition compared to just 6 themselves. You can't win a series like that. I mean, any long rebound, any missed shot at the rim, Minnesota was pushing the ball in pace, and they were attacking the basket. They were dominating the points in the paint. 44 points in the paint for Minnesota compared to Lakers 32. They essentially got dominated in every single aspect of the game. And Minnesota looked like the more athletic team. They looked like the more determined team. They were doing the little things, the big things, out shooting, out hustling, playing better defense. And when you're the more physical, more athletic team, you have those inherent natural advantages, and they took advantage of those, and they exposed the Lakers for not having that. And you look at the Lakers, I mean, 6 points in transition, 6 points. You get more than that. 6 points in that series. In Minnesota, they did finish sixth in the league in defensive rating, and a lot of that is because of that size. A lot of it is because of the athletes they throw at you in the perimeter. But still, to get just 6 points and give up 25 when you got a roster that has LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Austin Reeves, that's absolutely unacceptable. So the Lakers, I do fear that there is a big time uphill hill to climb in this series, that they're trying to push this rock up the hill, and that rock is the Minnesota Timberwolves. And again in game one, that rock came tumbling down on them, and it's because their roster is just a more complete roster. And then you have a LeBron James who's 40 years old and has played over 70,000 minutes. So look, you need more from Austin Reeves. You need more from LeBron James. You need a better version of a facilitating version of Luka Doncic in game two. And I still think they even this series, and the Lakers have a good chance to win it in 6, but they need a much better showing from their stars. They need better effort from their role players. I will say the thing that does concern me is the reason why the Mavs beat this Wolves team last year in the Western Conference Finals is because of the 15 to 20 points per game they were getting with dunks and layups from the rim runners. And most of those opportunities were created by Luka Doncic, and you combine that with the clutch shots he made down the stretch and Kyrie's contributions, that's why they won. I mean, guys like Lively and Gafford, I mean, they made 75% of the shots at the rim. The Lakers just don't have those kind of dudes on the roster. They don't have the rim runners. They don't have the players that can do that. And we know this is a flawed roster for sure, but I think it's going to come down to, can you get consistent shooting and outshoot them from guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent need to step up. So yeah, it was not a pretty game one by the Lakers. We'll have an opportunity to even the series tomorrow, and we'll see. Will Anthony Edwards shot, that picture where he's doing the Spider-Man meme over to Luka Doncic, will that age well, or will that age like 7-Eleven sushi in the sun? So we'll revisit that picture after the series. But switching gears, staying with the Los Angeles Lakers, the Lakers have signed Rob Pelinka to a contract extension. So Rob Pelinka is back for the long haul, a multi-year contract extension, and added to his title is naming president of basketball operations and general manager. Jeannie Buss released in a statement, "For 8 seasons, I have relied on Rob's vision and leadership to do what's best for the Lakers organization. I value his partnership and professionalism and believe in his ability to deliver championship caliber basketball for Los Angeles and for Lakers fans everywhere." So it's good to see that Rob Pelinka was rewarded for pulling off one of the biggest heists, one of the biggest rob jobs, robbed Nico Harrison Pelinka that we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. And I do think that after this extension, I'm pretty confident that there is a Rolls Royce with a big purple and gold bow on it sitting in Nico Harrison's driveway right now, because Nico Harrison making one of the worst trades in NBA history has led to essentially probably it's going to be a lifetime contract for Rob Pelinka. I mean, think about this. Rob Pelinka's set for life because he accepted a coffee date and kept a straight face while looking at Nico Harrison while he was about to pull off one of the best trades ever and one of the worst trades ever. Because before that trade, since the Lakers championship series, since they won the championship a few years ago and they beat the Miami Heat, it has not been great before the Luka Doncic deal. I mean, just rewinding, 2021, what did Rob Pelinka do? Signed Montrezl Harrell, full MLE. He was unplayable in the playoffs and hard capped the team. He let Dwight walk for absolutely nothing after the championship. He traded away Danny Green, a first-round pick, for Schroeder and offered him $84 million, which would have been a disaster, except Schroeder did turn it down, thankfully. He turned down THT for Kyle Lowry. And the 2022 season, worst offseason in NBA history, for being completely honest. He traded away KCP Kuzma, a first-round pick, for Westbrook, who was a disaster for this team. He let Caruso walk for nothing. And then in 2023, he got D'Angelo Russell, and he was unplayable in the playoffs. So, look, the good thing about all this is he absolutely 100% redeemed himself. He absolutely redeemed himself. He deserved that deal because of his relationship with Nico Harrison. And you could trace it back to Kobe and Nike and all these little dominoes that fell along the way. But yeah, it's going to be crazy when Nico gets fired, only to be hired by Rob Pelinka. I can see Rob Pelinka telling him now, hey, good job, Agent Nico. Mission complete. Return to base. You're now working for us. But yeah, good to see Rob Pelinka back. Now let's talk about the Clippers and the Nuggets. So the Clippers, Nuggets, the best game of the opening weekend. Denver wins 112-110 in overtime. And the big story in this one was Russell Westbrook towards the end of this game. The ups and downs of Russ, the heart attacks he gives you, the moments of joy that he gives you, it was the entire Russell Westbrook experience rolled into a 5-minute stretch there. From bad turnovers, bad shots, missed layups, to throwing the ball off James Harden at the end, to a great made three that put them on top, to big shots, to a defensive play late because he knew the Clippers plays essentially because of his time in LA. He was able to read it, to be disruptive, and that won the game for the Nuggets. And Russell Westbrook definitely redeemed himself, but it was a lot of ups and downs, and we really saw one of the best tweets of the weekend to describe Russell Westbrook's performance. There was a tweet that read, Russell Westbrook truly is the item box from Mario Kart. He's truly the item box from Mario Kart. Here, let's check this out. Here's Russell Westbrook's last couple of minutes of the game, all condensed, the ups and downs here for you with the awesome sounds of Mario Kart.
Brown for the lead. No. Westbrook, yes. There. Westbrook. See, here we go. Jokic takes the three, dishes. Westbrook serves it in. Murray needs help. Westbrook. Oh. Here is Murray down one in game one. 25 seconds. Westbrook a three. You bet it. 6 seconds. Jokic gives it up. Westbrook 3 seconds. Westbrook throws it off of the Clippers, and that will do it. Jokic, Westbrook off on Murray. And hit. Westbrook the rebound. Couldn't put it back in, but to the corner. Westbrook. No. Rebound. Westbrook digs it up. Can't finish. Can wait here. Westbrook. No.
Stepping back in. Nuggets by 3. Harden at the 3-1 set. Westbrook breaks it up. And it's going to be Nuggets basketball.
Hilarious stuff right there. And it just goes to show that it's not always about your line the box score that determines if you're going to help a team, right? And what Russell Westbrook did for that team yesterday, I mean, you look at Michael Porter Jr. not showing up at all. You look at Jamal Murray having an inefficient night. If it weren't for Russell Westbrook, the Denver Nuggets would be trailing 0-1 in that series. But other kind of quick takeaways from looking at that series, and what we saw was they need more from Michael Porter Jr. Is he a starter? Is he someone that needs to be more engaged? Nikola Jokic was asked about getting him more engaged, and he said, hey, if you need more engaged in the playoffs, then this is not for you. This is not for you. Michael Porter Jr. played 26 minutes. The Denver's other starters, they played 45 or more. So Michael Porter Jr., you need to show up. You need to act like a starter. He has 3 points in this one. And they end up finishing with Russell Westbrook on the court. David Adelman elected to go with Russ instead of Porter. And you also need some more from your second star in Jamal Murray. 21 points on 20 shots, but he did have 9 rebounds. He had 7 assists. So I think Jamal Murray's still getting things going. I think the Clippers, too, they just didn't really struggle at all with all those different defensive looks that the Nuggets were throwing at them early. Denver, they were in a 3-2 zone. They were mixing things up in the first quarter. They were still able to score. The Nuggets, they used man-to-man with Christian Braun on James Harden, Aaron Gordon on Kawhi Leonard. So they are trying some different things defensively. We'll see if that pays dividends. But all in all, I mean, the Clippers, they scored 29 points in the first 9 minutes. 22 of those points were in the paint. So they needed to do a better job defending in the paint than Denver's zone. It was effective for certain spots against James Harden, but that's going to be a 6 or 7 game series, but a massive, massive game 1 win. I think another thing too, you got to look at the bench scoring. I mean, all this talk about the Clippers bench and that they were going to be the difference in this series. Well, you had Peyton Watson, you had Jalen Pickett, Russell Westbrook. Denver had a 13-2 advantage at half, and the Nuggets, they were at a 23-13 bench advantage with Russ's 15. So, hey, Russell Westbrook, you keep trying to kill this guy off, you can't do it. He finds his way in a situation where he's motivated going against his former team. He knows a lot about what they run. And at this point, he just gives no Fs. He truly doesn't. So that's going to be a great series. I'm excited to see that one go 6 or 7. I took the Clippers in this one, but I'm starting to kind of regret that pick. I think that you're still going to get a better version of Jokic. Porter's got to step up. Jamal Murray's going to be more efficient. And if they do have like this version of Russ who's helping you and doing big things in big spots, then that is definitely going to change the game a little bit. All right, switching gears real quick. Let's talk some Warriors Rockets, another series that could be short. It could be long. We really don't know at this point. I mean, the Warriors went 95-85. The Warriors kind of grit and grind style won it for them. And now you've got a Jimmy Butler team, a Steph team that looks like they're fine in these situations against a tougher defense. And the Rockets, offensively, it's basically Sengun or bust for them. And that definitely is something that would terrify me if I'm a Rockets fan. That would terrify me if I'm a Rockets fan. So we'll see what happens in that series. But I think I just love the fact that Jimmy Butler has this calming influence. I really do. I mean, the Rockets, they were down 23 midway through the third quarter, and they made a nice little run. They got all the way back to 72-60 with 8:49 left to play. And Jimmy Butler comes back in, scored 6 points, had 2 rebounds, 2 steals. The Warriors had 14 of those 25 points off 17 Rockets turnovers, and a lot of that had to do with playoff Jimmy. So playoff Jimmy is here for the Warriors, and I think they're going to win that series. I do. I think the Warriors are going to win that series. Okay, next, Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg has announced that he is going to be entering the NBA draft. The projected number 1 pick of the 2025 NBA draft is going pro. There was some talk maybe he stays. There was no way he was going to stay. The question is, what kind of comp is he? And there's some people that throw him out as a Kawhi Leonard, a Lamar Odom, a Jason Tatum, guys like that, a Scottie Pippen. Andrei Kirilenko, I think, is one that kind of makes some sense, but I think he's going to be a better scorer. Kirilenko had a 7'4" wingspan. But it's going to be interesting to see what he can do at the next level with his offensive game. Because if you look at the year he had, the shooting got better as the year went along. The versatility definitely was there. I think he's still developmental for sure. But this is a star. This is a surefire number 1 pick here. And I'm glad he's going, man. I mean, NIL's changed the game a little bit, but no. You got to go if it's a $60 million difference, if we're thinking about it, for sure. Now, Kawhi Leonard is a little crazy. I mean, if you look at Kawhi's numbers through his first 36 games in the college level, 19.4 points per game, 13.4 rebounds, Flagg 25.3 points per game, 10.1 rebounds. Flagg's true shooting at 60% though. I don't like that comp. This is ESPN has Kawhi as a comp. I don't like that comp. I just don't see him as that kind of scorer or that defender. Kawhi's a little stronger, a little more compact. I don't see him being the shooter that Jason Tatum is. I really don't like any of these comps that ESPN has for him. The Lamar Odom one's pretty interesting to me. Pelinka one's interesting to me. That's one I've been talking about for a while. But Pelinka, I think, was a really good defender too in his prime. He led the league in blocks, literally. But Cooper Flagg is headed to the association. Couple quick ones here. I don't know if you saw this. The Celtics, they blew out the Magic in game 1. And I don't know if I'm going to change my pick on the Celtics coming out of the East. But after kind of seeing this cringe comment from Jaylen Brown before the game, look what he had to say about the Magic before the game. Here's Jaylen Brown.
I told you, y'all think I'll be playing with the energy. They the Magic, but they know who really got the magic over here. Ooh, I like that. No Harry Potter.
They the Magic, but they know who's really got the magic over here. No Harry Potter. I don't know. It's kind of a bar, actually. It's kind of a bar. It's kind of cringe, though. But how about this, too? You had Jason Tatum goes to the ground. Looks like he's hurt. And his coach, Joe Mazzulla, he tells the trainers, no, don't go out there. And he's yelling at him to get up. Man, Joe Mazzulla, you are a sicko. Check this out.
Officials will obviously look at that.
Get up. I mean, I was on the couch and I got up. I was on the couch and I got up and I was ready to grab a basketball and enter the game. So that is the level of sicko that he is. And that's, I'm not going to lie. When he screamed, get up, I almost just got off the couch and I just got up and was ready to hoop. But the Celtics, they take game 1. They look like they're going to cruise in that series. And then how about some NBA memes of the week? Let's get into some NBA memes here. NBA memes Monday. I like that. Memes Monday, NBA edition. Wait, we'll hit that one in a minute. It's all good. So we got here. Yeah, I think it's that time of year, right? Okay, so this one, I don't know if you guys saw this. So Kevin Gates was going at LeBron James saying that he didn't like the way that Savannah smiled at LeBron James. And typically LeBron doesn't respond to any of these types of comments, any of these tweets, anything like that. But this is a different version of LeBron that's kind of in his petty era. And LeBron, he took a picture with Savannah after the game and she's smiling from ear to ear. And the caption was, "Kings don't concern themselves with the opinions of peasants. Where to next, queen? Let's get it." So LeBron taking a shot at Kevin Gates. I think that he should have given Kevin Gates the free publicity there. I think that's just my opinion on that one. What else we got? We've got, okay, this one's hilarious. This one's hilarious right here. This is Derek Jones Jr. about to punch Nikola Jokic. Yeah, if you saw this one, it looked like he was about to swing at him. I don't know what he's thinking. You don't want to mess with Jokic and the Jokic brothers. Okay, what else we got? We've got the Nico Harrison one coming up too. There's a funny pan to him after the game where he was looking at. But here, let's do this one first. And I love this one. This is from Dedicated Hoops that tweet out, coaches wearing suits, fans actually wearing the playoff shirts, arenas being full of loud and passionate fans. My beautiful league used to have more aura. I love this tweet. It brought me back. Fans actually wearing the giveaway shirts. Coaches wearing suits. I think that's the biggest L. There are some, Mick Cronin in college. There's some that still wear the suits. But let me ask you this. Would Pat Riley be Pat Riley if it weren't for the Armani suits and the slick back hair? I mean, come on. Leave the quarter zips in the bubble. Dress for the job. Everything was better. The score bug was better. Wearing the t-shirts was better. Gosh. The courts were better. I mean, come on. That's just disappointing right there. What else we got? There we go. We got Nico, my friend. Don't look me and look at Nico Harrison. This guy just been absolutely miserable with it. Got to feel bad for this guy at this point. These guys need to go in the witness protection program. But ending the show today, we've got the most hated teams in sports. This is from BetOnline AG. The most hated teams in sports today. Coming in at number 10, Manchester United. I don't know why fans would hate Manchester United because they haven't done anything in a long time. My man, one of my best friends, Sherman's a Manchester United fan. He's going to kill me for saying this, but they have been bad for a long time. They need new ownership. The Lakers coming in at number 9. I totally disagree with this. The Lakers are not 9. They're way higher on this list, but let's run down the list. Manchester United 10, Lakers 9, Duke 8, Alabama 7, Houston 6, the Houston Astros coming in at 6, Boston Celtics at 5, Dallas Cowboys at 4, Kansas City Chiefs at 3, New York Yankees at 2, and Los Angeles Dodgers at number 1. Now, I don't know if they have the most accurate list here. I think the Lakers are easily top 5. The Lakers are ahead of the Celtics 100%, especially after the Luka Doncic trade, because people think that Adam Silver conspired to get a superstar to LA. The Astros, that happened a while ago. The sign stealing, I would say that they're a little down. I think Duke is ahead of them. I would say that the real list, I still think the Yankees are number 1. The Yankees are always going to be the most hated team. They have the 27 World Series titles. They have the pinstripes. People view them as that franchise that you just got to throw hate on. I think it's Yankees 1. It's Cowboys 1. It's always going to be the Cowboys. Cowboys 1, Yankees 2, Lakers 3, Chiefs 4, and then Dodgers 5. That's the real list. I'm telling you, that's the real list right there. But still, Alabama 2, they've fallen off a little bit. They're not the same since Saban left. Duke had success, but they choked in the NCAA tournament. But yeah, that's the real list right there. I think the Dodgers is interesting just because if they continue to win, let's say the Dodgers have a dynasty and win 2, 3, 4, 5 World Series titles with Shohei Ohtani, and it looks like they have all the superstars in the sport, then I think that they're firmly going to be higher on that list, and they could potentially pass the Yankees. But the thing about the Dodgers is they have likable and lovable superstars, right? I think that's kind of the difference there, is likable and lovable superstars. And there's kind of this, they hate us because they ain't us type of strategy for them too, right? I mean, you just kind of look at them and you kind of wish your team was operating at that level. But that's going to do it for this episode of The Big Lead. My name is Doug McKain. If you haven't yet, do me a huge favor. Subscribe to The Big Lead. It's the hottest stories in sports less than an hour. Love us before they all do. Definitely hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Also, once we hit 2K subs, we're giving away a Luka Doncic Lakers number 77 jersey. All you have to do is 2 things. Subscribe and then comment Luka Magic down below. TBL could stand for the big Lakers. That's how much we talk about them on this show. So definitely Lakers fans, you know where to go for Lakers content as well. But that's good for this episode, guys. See you tomorrow. And until next time, I'm out.